Zanaco Fan TV, welcome everybody. What a way to start the return of the season. 3-0 loss to a team that's won one trophy in the last 10 or 20 years. 3-0 loss to a team that makes noise on Facebook and not on the ground. 3-0 loss to a team that's not even a contender for the Zambia Super League at any given point in any of the seasons the last 10 years, maybe except 2013 when they won it. 3-0 loss to Kalampa. Very disappointing game. Our gameplay was just terrible. We sat back for 90 minutes, basically. The first 45 minutes, we just literally sat back. But anyway, let's get into the player ratings. Today, I'm just going to do the player ratings. But before I actually do get into player ratings, I want to talk about Chris Kaunda's post-match interview. Chris Kaunda came out and said 6 of our players tested positive for COVID-19. Which sounds like they tested positive today or results came out today, which doesn't make sense to me. But that being the case, though, the players you fielded, I mean, we were playing a game that had no fans in the stadium, and we know how noisy it is out there. Why don't you just tell the players to attack? Go for it. We didn't go for it. We sat back. We were afraid of Nkana. I don't understand why we would be afraid of Nkana of all teams. I don't care where they are in the table. They're not a threat at any given point. If we're playing Zesco, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, maybe let's sit back. But teams like Nkana are teams that are just supposed to go on the attack. I understand we have 6 players that are out. I mean, if you think about it, Lombard is out, Zio is out. Zio, I understand, was just an injury before the game. Kiala is out, Kapumbu is out. The likes of Boyd Musonda, who are back in training, I'm not sure what his status is, but it seems like he's out as well. A lot of our main team players are out for me, who would start for me any given Sunday. A lot of them seem to be out. Unlike Nkana, who only had, I think, 1 player out. That was Ahmad Musa. I don't really know the Nkana team. I don't really care for them because they don't really do much for me. But anyway, let me get into the player ratings after this terrible 3-0 loss. In goal, we had my guy, Tostan Savata. I'm always skeptical when he's in goal. I'm always scared, afraid, but look, he didn't have much to do today. His defense didn't really do a job for him. So he'll get off straight 4 out of 10 for me. Left back, we had our guy, Lawrence Chungu, probably one of the best left backs for me in the league, best left back in my team. He seemed like he was tired. I didn't see him come out, and he had a few touches here and there, but he was not aggressive at any given point. So for me, he'll get a 3 out of 10. Suleimani even did somewhat of a better job coming in as left back in the second half. So he gets a 3 out of 10 for me. In the middle of the park, we had Belchance, Makis, my guy. One of my guys. I love this guy, although sometimes you just wonder. He has 2 good games and 3 bad games. Today, he didn't command the line at all. He was terrible. 2 silly goals we let in. So for me, Makis gets a 2 out of 10. And then coming in, we had Owusu. If not, one of my favorite players is Owusu. I mean, Anda Mumamba, this guy played left back, he played center back, he played right back. Up to now, he's still doing the same thing. He's one of the best players we've had at Zanaco for a while in the back. He had a terrible game today. He gave away a silly free kick, got a yellow card. Terrible game for me today, but he'll get a 3 out of 10. He was one of the more active defenders. Right back, Peter Banda, who's usually a holding midfielder or central defender for us. For me, Peter Banda, man, he was the best player for us today. He gets a 5 out of 10. I mean, Peter Banda, on the right-hand side, he bossed it. There's a time he even turned Tole around. Peter Banda played an excellent game. For me, he was the best player. For someone who doesn't even play right back, he was excellent for me. If he had help up front, maybe if he had an Ernest Mbewe up front to help him, I think we would have killed Nkana today. Our starting 11 was just terrible. But anyway, Peter Banda gets a 5 out of 10 for me. Excellent game for him. He was just average, but he had an excellent game. In the middle of the park, we had, in midfield, we had my guy here, William Jovu and Suleiman. William Jovu, sometimes, William Jovu was non-existent. I mean, there's a time Kelvin Mwanga ran from his half to our half, and I'm thinking, Palivandan per midfield. What's happening? I mean, the guy was utterly useless today. I actually think William Jobu should not start the next game. If indeed it's true, we've got 6 of our players out with COVID. This guy needs to play with instruction, serious instruction, every second instruction, because he was terrible. For me, William Jobu gets a 1 out of 10. Terrible football, terrible football. I wish Boyd or Kiala or Kapumbu was fit, even Sambalungu. Otherwise, William Jobu, for me, even I guess Nkwazi, no, I don't want to even see him on the field. But he gets a 1 out of 10. Suleimani, who later moved to left back in the second half, not such a great game. He had a chance to score. I think it was lack of communication between him and Charles Zulu. I mean, Chitia Mususu does his thing there. Anyunya gives the ball center. Before you know it, all Charles Zulu has to tell him is, hey, skip. It's first half. It's a goal. The ball game changes when you're 1-0 up. But then what happens? It's like they don't know what's going on. Before you know it, Suleimani is kicking the ball and it's going all the way almost towards the corner flag. That was just terrible football, terrible football. Suleimani will get a 3 out of 10 for me. He had played a bit. There was a bit of effort that he put in, but still below average. So he gets a 3 out of 10 for me. On the right-hand side, Petopia, he gets a 2 out of 10. He had a few touches here and there. He didn't really, Peter Banda did his thing. He did his thing, but Petopia was just nowhere to be seen as well. He gets a 3 out of 10. On the left, we have the almighty Charles Zulu. Charles Zulu, the overrated player of Zanaco FC, the guy who's praised by every banker. Most of the bankers will say, hey, Charles Zulu is the best left winger in the league, etc. Charles Zulu that, Charles Zulu this. If you watch Charles Zulu, you tell me that he's got no end product. If you really watch the bankers, if you really watch Charles Zulu, they'll tell you that he's got no end product. This guy will dribble the whole field, back and forth, but still won't pass the ball. He actually just dribbles to lose the ball. There's no point of what he does. I'd understand if he dribbled past 2-3 players, he loses the ball once or twice. But the other times, dribble past, cross the ball. Dribble past, cross the ball. We are away and we're already sitting back. What are you doing dribbling and losing the ball? The second goal for me was his fault. He's dribbling. Pretopia is open. I think Suleimani as well was open. One of the players was open. Instead of passing the ball, he loses it. He doesn't track back. He stands. The ball goes all the way to our half. Before we know it, it's a goal. Charles Zulu is overrated until he changes his gameplay. Nothing will ever work on our left wing because, the guy just dribbles with no end product. It's about time maybe Chris Counter should bench him the next game or tell him every second as well, hey, cross the ball, hey, pass the ball, because Charles Zulu, I don't know. He's overrated for me. I've never rated him as a player. I actually think Julius Chumbeko played a better season under Mumambo on the left wing as compared to what Charles Zulu has done ever since he came back. So for me, Charles Zulu gets a 1 out of 10. Up front, we had Roger Kola and we had my guy, Chitia Mususu, my favorite player, excellent player. But Roger Kola will get a 2 out of 10, nothing much, no help from the midfield. Chitia Mususu also get a 3 out of 10 just for that through ball that he gave, but he was also below average. All the subs that came in, I would give all of them a 2 out of 10 except for Moses Piri. Moses Piri was just excellent. He was trying to go forward. He was passing the ball. Moses Piri did an excellent job today. He'll get a 5 out of 10. So overall for me, the best players were Moses Piri, who came in the second half, and my guy, of course, Peter Banda, who played an excellent game. I just hope against Nkwazi we have our big name players back. I don't know what's going on with Baba Basile. I don't know if he's eligible to play yet and still need to look into that. Maybe Kola needs to take a break in as much as it's the first game back. He had a good free kick, but he just didn't look like he had put any effort in. Chitia Mususu also was also just rather a bit slow. But anyway, Nkana has given us a 3-0. The Colonial team has beaten us. Sad day at the office. We just have to move on and go to Nkwazi and see what we can do. Because my worry right now is Green Eagles. Those guys play 10 men Kumbuyo plus now coach. It's going to be very hard to actually break them down. But anyway, That's my player ratings today. Terrible, terrible game. The best players for me were Peter Banda and Moses Piri. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Remember to subscribe and like our channel. Remember, we're all Zanaco 1. Peace out.